Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to learn about modeling, part modeling to be more exact. So let's begin. I just deleted everything in my scene. Gonna add a very quickly cube, then go to edit mode up here. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna be doing is to repeat vertex, edge, and face, what the difference is and why it's important. Vertex is one of these dots. You can move it really easily like this. See, it's just one dot. An edge is two dots combined into a line. So it's called an edge. And a face is four dots. And that's called a face. So it's really important you know this, guys. And to change between them, you can use this menu up here if you want, or you can just press 1 for vertex, 2 for edges, 3 for faces. So that's a really nice shortcut, I think. The 3 important things to know when modeling. So the first thing is you can of course move tool right here, move around the object, something like this. You see, just moving it, can move it around really easily. The other one is rotate, right here. You can here move, rotate, scale. So rotate, R for shortcut. You can rotate it around. Something like this. You see it really just rotating, super simple. Yeah, and then you can use scale. Shortcut, S. We can change the scale of the object. And these 3 different tools together is really useful. Wait, we're just gonna create a very simple shape. So let's begin with the big shapes. So yeah, we can scale this face downwards, something like that. Scaling this face a little bit more upwards. You see, we have changed the shape from a cube to something more complicated, that has more shape to it, and then we can add more complexity to it by changing these shapes, by scaling the edge right here, making it more complicated. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side, or at least I'm gonna do, just because I'm trying to show you guys different shapes you can create. Then add more detail with something like vertex and move tool, so it becomes something like this, and we can just. But now I'm gonna teach you guys about some really important techniques when you're poly modeling. So the first one is I'm gonna use a face right here, like this face, and then instead of just pulling it upwards like this, I'm gonna press E. E for extrude. Then you can extrude out another part. And that makes, see this line right here, these edges, makes it possible to separate these shapes like this. Not separate, but bend them like this. Make some more complexity. Then of course, on top of this, you can rotate this shape. Add some more complexity, make it look a little bit nicer. Then you can extrude from that part. Just because you extrude forward doesn't mean that you can extrude from the side. So you can take this part, extrude from here, then extrude from here. You maybe want a little bit of extrude right here, and then of course you can. This is a real handful tip. You press E, then right click to leave it at the same spot. Then scale it downwards. Now you got a little bit smaller face in with this like bigger cube shape right here. Then you can extrude that part outwards. And see how you add a lot more complicated shapes really quickly. Right here we can do the same. We can just extrude it. So let's repeat. E for extrude, and I want to cancel that it actually moves. I just wanted to add another face. So cancel it with right clicking, then S for scale, scale into the size I wanted, and then extrude again. You don't only need to extrude outwards, you can also extrude inwards like this. So you get these nice shapes inwards like this. And of course, you can then scale inwards like this and pull it outwards or inwards again. So that's really useful. Then we also have this tool right here. Look at. Down here, the shortcut is Control R. That just makes this like nice extra edge like this. You hold the mouse over the edge like this. Hold down the left mouse button and just move it or drag it along the edges slash like faces. Choose where you want it. So when you have added that, you can then very easily change the shape a little bit more. And now I want this like round nice shape right here. But now I got a problem. I don't want to move these parts one by one. That's gonna take a lot of time and it's gonna be really, really painful. So to take one entire like row of edges in one go, press down Alt on your keyboard and press on the edge like this and get all those edges that are connected to one another. Then you can just pull this upwards like this and create that nice circle shape that I wanted. Something like that. You see how much shape and complexity we just added to this very, very quickly? Those are the most important like techniques for polymodeling. So I just thought that we would polymodel really, really quickly a plate. With all of these techniques, a plate should be really like understandable. So going back to object mode, deleting the object I created, Shift A to add a new object. Then I'm actually going to use a circle. Go back to edit mode, and now we're missing a part in the middle right here, so I'm just going to press F to fill it in. I'm actually going to use face. Going to extrude it and scale it inwards. Something like that, and then move it downwards. Then you see this like extra face that gets added. We're gonna just press that one and delete it. Delete and then delete face, because that's a face. And you can see the very basic shape of a plate, but we want some like more definition to the shape, right? So you're just gonna start by pulling this downwards, by not pulling it downwards, I mean extruding it downwards like this. Then we can extrude it and then scale it together like this. Something like that. Or not something like that. Something like this, guys. See, so we get this like middle shape. Then we can extrude it again. Scale it like this. And move it upwards. So we get this like shape underneath plate. And now you see a problem right here. We want this like nice smooth shape here, right? So now guys, we're gonna use a trick that we used before. Choose the edge, 2 for shortcut. Hold down Alt on your keyboard. Take this row of connecting edges. E to extrude the edge like this, and you see it's getting all kind of different ways. We want it exactly straight, right? So the axis we move it on to get it upwards is Z. So we're gonna press Z. It's gonna move upward like this. We want it pretty thin plate, so something like this. Then we're just gonna press F to fill this gap inward like this. But now you see we got the problem that we had in the beginning. We got all of this like this flat space. We don't want that, so we're gonna extrude it and scale it inwards, and then we're gonna move it downwards. But you see, not so it goes underneath here, just so it's above. And then I'm just gonna extrude with E, right click, S for scale, and move it inwards like this. I can see we've modeled a really simple plate.